the lower weight divisions. The designation used to address all weight classes south of 126 pounds. For decades, these divisions have been maligned and ignored by many a boxing fan. But those divisions contain a wealth of talent and provide fantastic matchups that drive interest from Mexico to South Africa, Japan to Southeast Asia, and all the way to South America. In 2023, the bantamweight Naoya Inoue sought to shock the boxing world. With his mix of speed and power, the Japanese monster had liquidated 3 weight divisions.
Oh, this is unbelievable from Inoue. Here comes Inoue. Oh, the referee is holding the count, and it is all over. Naoya Inoue with a devastating statement of intent.
But just as he was to reach the pound-for-pound throne, the 2020 pandemic stifled his progress. He returned in 2022 against the man who'd severely tested him, the great Nonito Donaire. This time, Inoue dispatched of him in under 2 rounds. Later that year, he unified the bantamweight division by defeating Paul Butler. He was back in form, and now Inoue pushed himself to the limit as he moved up to the 122-pound division. There, he would meet the best super bantamweight in the world, the undefeated Stephen Fulton. Fulton was a quick and mobile Philadelphian. In 2021, he'd enjoyed his best year as he'd beaten the undefeated Angelo Leo and the pressure machine known as Brandon Figueroa. In those fights, he'd shown his grit, beating both men at their own game. But he could also box from afar, as he showed against former titleist Daniel Roman. And so, Inoue and Fulton agreed to fight. Despite hardcore boxing fans' recognition of Inoue's level, Fulton suggested that the Japanese was overhyped because of his nationality.
What do you say to those who say, man, I love Cool Boy Steph. I don't know if he's got enough pop to keep Inoue off of him.
I don't have nothing to say. You want to know why? Because I feel like the hype is around amongst him because he's a Japanese person doing these things. That's all. I feel like that's the hype is around because of that. I feel like I'm just gonna show swag in this fight, show style, show class. I feel like I'm gonna outclass him. Who has he fought of my style? Who has he fought? We seen everyone comes forward to him and try to dog him out and then get hit with some crazy shots. You never seen somebody that can mix it up like me. I have a style for every fighter, and it showed.
This might have been confidence or ignorance fueling his opinion, but it was clear that many fell in the latter category. At this point, it is crucial to pause and read some of these comments. LOL, Fulton will cook him easily. Inoue, a hype job. I promise Inoue is not gonna look like he ever has against Fulton. Watch how normal he looks against Cool Boy. Inoue gets hit way more than Fulton does, man. He's not defensively responsible. Inoue is small, he won't be able to pressure Fulton like Figueroa tried to. And he's not quick enough to overwhelm Fulton, so that won't work either. It's just a poor matchup for the guy, to be honest. Now this guy listened to one Michio Kaku podcast too many. This will be a good fight, but Fulton should have a technical field day against the flat-footed Inoue. Flat-footed. Fulton can go back, forward, and lateral, which makes him a 3-dimensional fighter. Inoue is simply a 2-dimensional fighter, or we have yet to see his other dimensions. But in this fight, he must use all his dimensions to have a chance. I already hear the excuses people will come up with if Fulton wins. They gon' say Inoue was robbed, or Fulton ran, or Inoue was too green. El Mao. It's gonna be a great fight to watch for sure. Fulton is clearly the better boxer. Now this guy, I don't know what he was watching. Who really has advantages here? Reach, Fulton. Height, Fulton. Speed, Fulton. Power, maybe Inoue. Maybe Inoue. What the hell was this guy watching? The more egregious comments suggested that most people had never seen Inoue fight. And thus, they assumed he was all power and no skills. Nah, I think Inoue is getting his head boxed off, to be honest. Fulton is one of the most skillful boxers under 126. Inoue is tough and strong with power, but he's never faced anyone as skilled as Fulton. Even alleged trainers severely downplayed Inoue.
It's crazy because a lot of people don't think that Scooter's going to win this fight. A lot of people like is overlooking Scooter because people are sold on this Japanese dude. Why, I don't know. He's good. He's good, don't get me wrong.
Stephen Fulton, Naoya Inoue. I'm going Stephen Fulton by stoppage. You put me on wax right now, it's going to be a stoppage. It's going to be a bloodbath. It's going to be a beating.
Scooter's going to beat this boy. Easy. I don't think it's going to be as competitive as everybody thinks it's going to be.
Inoue, really successful at the lower weights.
Against who?
Filipino Flash.
Filipino Flash was the same age as I am right now. No, bro. Oh, you don't get no credit for that.
He knocks Inoue out. And I see he knocks him out within 10.
Stephen Fulton is arguably a pound-for-pound fighter. Some people got him on his list.
Should be top 10 pound.
Inoue's in everybody's top 5.
He should not be in nobody's top 5.
I think Inoue is a hype job. I don't know how the hell they got him on the damn top pound for pound. Number 2, number 1, you gotta be kidding me.
Should the winner, whoever wins, be pound for pound number 1?
No. Pound for pound number 1 is Jamel Charlo to me.
People consider Inoue pound for pound number 1.
Never.
And Leonard Ellaby, Mayweather's best friend, displayed his usual ignorance. Others chose to focus on an alleged American sparring session in which Inoue had been bested by gatekeeper Adam Lopez.
Adam Lopez goes to spar Inoue. You know Adam. Yeah. He did great. He kicked Inoue's ass, let's say, all the rounds except one.
I heard.
And Inoue's team was recording. So Adam's team said, listen guys, don't upload the video. And they said, okay. They upload the one round that Inoue did good.
And nobody has recorded?
What do you think about that, Robert?
Were you there?
No, but Adam told me about it a week.
Well, then you don't know what to believe, Ellie.
No, I believe Adam.
Fulton's stablemate, the undefeated Jaron Ennis, went as far as picking Fulton by KO victory. It was one thing for his friends to pick him. It was another to turn it into a nationalistic and racial war, which is exactly what certain people did. At this point, it is important once again to pause and read some of these comments. They had this strong thirst for a light-skinned clown on the top of the pound-for-pound rankings. Chocolatito, Triple G, Loma, and now this clown Inoue. When are people just gonna keep it real and just say overseas fighters cannot compete with us? Other races from our country can barely compete with us. Inoue never fought a black fighter and wasn't pursuing the fight. That boy about to get his ass beat. His first fight against a black fighter with skill. Not to mention he from Philly too. I'm ready. Brian ain't really beat nobody nice, to be honest. I can't wait to see the comment section when the monster loses to his first black opponent, LOL. Many of these individuals weren't even Fulton fans, something the Philadelphian had lamented when complaining about the lack of American support. Then, with a week to go, boxing blogger Sean Sittel made some telling comments about Inoue.
Yeah, extremely suspect that Inoue was bitching and complaining about getting random tested.
This was all that his detractors needed to accuse the Japanese of cheating. But the theatrics continued when Fulton's coach Wahid Rahim accused Inoue of stacking his wraps, meaning the Japanese had placed layers of tape to supposedly harden the hand wraps. Again, some people jumped at the chance, accusing Inoue of cheating, despite the fact that stacking is allowed in Japan and in certain states of the USA. Moreover, it is unproven whether stacking increases punching power. And finally, this didn't prevent Fulton from stacking his own hand wraps. The Philadelphian, for his part, looked slightly embarrassed by the affair. But even a day before the bout, Fulton's team accused the Japanese of tampering with their gloves. And the fanatics once again turned it all into a racial issue. Let's read some comments. I could see the headlines now if roles were reversed. Black American fighter caught cheating with glove wraps. But when it's non-black, it's okay. It's the rules. Okay, cool. Let's fight fire with fire. I'm hoping Cool Boy does the same since it's the rules and allowed. Also, it makes sense Homeboy always fights in Japan and gets all these KOs. Monday morning can't come quick enough. I'll be up for this one. Believe it or not, non-black fighters use certain unethical techniques when fighting black fighters because they feel like black fighters being naturally gifted is unfair and them cheating makes it even. In the end, it would be Inoue and Fulton's responsibility alone to emerge victorious. Fulton started off moving, but Inoue beat him to the punch. Inoue was also out-jabbing Fulton. This was a major red flag, for the American was supposed to be the superior jabber. In the third, Fulton upped the aggression, but Inoue remained a sharper boxer. The fourth saw Fulton increase his punch output, but Inoue remained explosive. In the fifth, Inoue returned, sticking his jab on Fulton's face, forcing the American back. Fulton, however, remained game. By the middle of the fight, Fulton was behind on points, a precarious situation considering his lack of power. Fulton did his best, jabbing with Inoue. But in the eighth, it all crumbled. Without a tune-up at the new weight, Inoue had become the best super bantamweight in the world, and for many, he was now the pound-for-pound king. More impressively still, he'd made it look easy. After the bout, female boxer Clarissa Shields espoused her shock and revealed she'd never seen a full Inoue bout. Perhaps she was speaking for the myriad of people who'd besmirched his skills.
Hey, my man showed up. He fought as hard as he could. I'm not sure what happened to him or with him. I haven't talked to him since the fight.
Inoue, did he surprise you by how he performed?
I was surprised, unpleasantly. I was surprised, and I got to give him his respect. I got to give him kudos.
Others now insisted that Inoue had to move up 2 more divisions and fight the lightweight Gervonta Davis to be considered the #1 pound-for-pound fighter. But some, like former NBA star and hobo impersonator Steven Jackson, had complaints.
One, ESPN announcers are the worst. It's clear wherever they at and whoever's the favorite, that's who they going for. You know what I'm saying? They're in Japan, so they was going for the Japan dude from the jump. Tim Bradley's the worst. I mean, besides beating Pacquiao, who did he beat? And he didn't beat Pacquiao that night. Cool boy, I commend you, bro. You got beat by a better fighter. He's stronger. He's not a great boxer. He's just strong as hell.
The lunacy continued in December, after Inoue defeated the tough Marlon Tapales and managed to become the undisputed super bantamweight champion. Again, people clamored for him to move to 135 and face Gervonta Davis, a move which even the Baltimore native dismissed. Inoue's win sent Terence Crawford, his only pound-for-pound rival, into a frenzy of self-aggrandizement that could be generously described as outlandish, but more accurately described as downright embarrassing. And so, despite Inoue's accomplishments, many still doubted his legitimacy. And that was fine. Some would never get it. Just like they would never watch anything below 122 pounds for another decade. In the end, Inoue had a nation behind him, and it was well earned.